All right, I'm going to call the Marion Township workshop meeting to order. For the first thing, it's the Pledge of Allegiance.
7:02.
7:02. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Meetings are audio and video recorded. Please silence your cell phone. Anyone wishing to address the board can do so by coming up to the microphone clearly. State your name and address. Sign in if you want to make a public comment. Public comment.
Beverly Rossman, 412 Water Street, Strasburg, PA. I'm speaking on the committee for the building. I'm the president. We had our meeting last evening, and for the first phase, we are suggesting to the township, which we already were told the septic system is, but after that, we were speaking about the mold, then the asbestos, and then the wall. Those were the discussions we had last night as our first phase for our building.
Thank you. One thing that I want you guys to start focusing on is your vision of the building. Okay, because me and Dennis know what needs to be repaired.
Yeah.
Right, and maintained. We are going to handle the pipe. We are going to handle the asbestos. We're going to handle the mold, and we're going to handle the building cleaning and the wall.
Yeah.
What I need is a clear vision on what you guys want in the building and what you guys want to do with it and how you want it tied into the community. That's what I need.
We did discuss that last evening.
Okay.
I'm just bringing this to you.
Right, great.
For the simple reason is we're waiting for our other person to be on the committee so we can get their input.
Right.
Because we have two different parts as to which way to go.
Mm-hmm.
There are some that want to go one way and some the other. So we need somebody that has a lot more input as far as engineering, which one of those gentlemen would help us with.
Okay.
So
I'm glad, just so you're aware, just read your packet because there was already designers in that building, engineers, and there's a lot of data in there that it takes maybe reading the packet twice to grasp some of it.
okay.
And that's the Tibbetts,
The Tibbetts Weaver is an architect.
okay. So yeah,
And
look at that.
with all the drawings that he has, he can start doing design work, but that would be a separate phase. I need you guys to focus more on phase one because I'm shifting towards maintenance and making sure that building stays up. I need to be able to focus the SOAR first, unfortunately, so I can
Correct.
eventually get a grant to restore the building at the right time.
Yes,
You follow what I'm?
we understand that.
Thank you.
Thank you, very nice.
Yeah, there's just a lot of, with being at the meeting last night, a lot of discussion on one way that the building should be, that person's vision. But I think it needs to be all their decision on what they need to do. It just can't be like one-sided and, yeah.
And
I
And,
would not have a problem with if you come back with maybe two options.
yeah,
I don't want to have 10 options, but
yeah,
right, I can tell you that I'm going to lean towards permanent repairs and doing it right the first time.
yeah,
Right, because if it's going to be on our board, we're the ones spending the money. I don't want to spend the money twice,
yeah,
and I want it to be there permanently.
yeah.
we don't always agree, by the way.
That's true. But
Yeah.
thank you, Beverly.
Yep.
Appreciate that. All right. Reports, SOAR announcements. Get your septic systems pumped, please. Inspected. A list of registered pumpers are available upon request. Still accepting letters of support for the proposed SOAR.
Now, did you want, when did
Oh,
you want,
shoot.
yeah, when did you want to talk to David? I don't think Terry's here. I didn't see Terry being here.
Well, let's handle David first and then
Okay.
we'll go into the items. David, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. So what is your sole focus and interest on being on the building committee board?
Well, one is preserving the building. I would like to make sure that it stays as an important part of the community. And then also what the building would be used for. Maintaining the museum is one of the priorities I would look at from my background.
What would be your vision for the historical items in that building, out of curiosity?
I had to give it some thought. It would be nice if there'd be more events where it'd be open to the public.
Mhm.
I also, there's with my involvement with other historic sites, there's a number of outreach opportunities to provide the greater Tulpehocken area with knowledge of what resources we have,
Mhm.
as well as additional, programs, speakers, things like that that you could bring interest into the area,
Mhm.
especially with the variety of topics that you could focus on for especially the Stroudsburg area,
Right.
cigars in the school, and there's a lot of important aspects of this area that are tied directly to Stroudsburg.
Right, right. Your vision for perfect scenario with the building, would it be utilization of the whole building? Would it be, what would it be?
It would be. I think it would be nice to have, there's a number of organizations that look for meeting space.
Mhm.
It would be nice if there would be a, conference room or things like that that might be available, maybe free of charge,
Mhm.
especially for nonprofits that
Mhm.
might be looking for a place to meet.
Mhm.
And then, what other additional programs, there's lots of things that could be done just to improve or enhance
Mhm.
the community experience, holidays, family nights, movies like you're doing in the, in the playground area, crafts could be, things like that. So I like more of a community space,
Mhm.
in addition to having the business end of running the township.
Right, right. And
Voting as well.
you're
I would-
involved with the Historical Society out of Tulpehocken?
Yeah, Tulpehocken settlement and also at the Conrad Weiser homestead. That's okay.
And if I may, what do you do for a living?
I'm a school teacher.
Oh,
I
really?
teach at Cocalico.
Okay.
A science teacher.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Going on 34 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're long tenured.
Yes. Yeah. I'm one of the oldest ones in the staff at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, boy, I had a thought and just, so what is your understanding of the role of the building committee?
Well, I don't have a huge, idea what's going on. I was there when they did the walkthrough, I think with the inspection,
Okay, yeah.
So, I'm aware of the issues that the building has. Yeah, I guess the idea is looking at what space is there and then what needs to be done to make each space appropriate for whatever use we're going to have for it. So, you'd have to almost have a layout of the building and think about like what would these spaces be utilized for? What's going to be in these
Okay.
areas?
That's-
And then your renovations would need to be tied in with that directly. So, will you need,
Okay, good.
restrooms or, whatever.
So talking about the museum portion of the building, and I think you were there, there's a lot of stuff over there. A lot of it's really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of it, some of it seems like, is it worth it to have all this stuff there? So I certainly wouldn't suggest going in and throwing stuff away, but how would you go about organizing it, for lack of a better word?
I know at Weiser, and I'm not quite sure how Tulpehocken organized their collection. At Weiser, not too long ago, the state went through and looked at which items are part of the collection that have a direct connection with that area. And most of those remained on site. Other things that had value that they didn't think directly connected to Weiser were then shared out to other historic sites. So we had some things that had, maybe a Weiser connection, but it was a descendant. Dental certificate from 1934, and that's not anything we would need there. So although depending on storage, you could always put things aside and think about special exhibits or things like that might be, but I know that at Lebanon County Historical Society, they had issues with people donate things because the family thought it was neat or it belonged there. And then when they looked at it, it's like, we don't have any use for this. It doesn't fit in with our vision or our mission. So And then certainly you do want to go through and make sure that, like, paper ephemera is climate controlled, preserved, digital images of things that might be lost or that might eventually fade. So at least you have a permanent record of those things. Are things in duplicate that we don't need, conditions or things that have to get repaired. I would imagine it'd be a quite extensive project.
Yeah,
To
no,
go through and,
you know, to your point, there's, I walk by and there's like 6, 8 baseball, softball uniforms, and they are pretty cool. But do you need that many out? So to your point, you package 6 of them carefully, and then the other 2 are for display type thing.
Right.
You can always pull out the other 6.
Right.
Jesse must go out and play baseball.
Yeah, run that
Not gonna
fast
happen.
anymore.
Not gonna happen. Okay, well, I like I really like the historical museum aspect that you bring. I think one of the problems that, I hear about and what we've seen is that, it is a massive project, and just getting people involved to do that. I think somewhere in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we're going to need that kind of effort.
We are. One of my initial ideas, but this would be further down the road when the building is more fixed, was getting cabinets and just incorporating the items throughout the whole building.
Oh, yeah.
So they're not just locked in one room that's open once a year.
Right.
But then again, like you said, rotating stuff out and storing it properly, and the paper and the climate control. And so right now that building is not a climate controlled area at all.
It's,
So, I
that's
mean,
being kind, yes.
right. So it's right now the clock is running, if you know what I'm saying. So
Is that something that would be on the plan for the building, air conditioning, like some kind of,
yes,
Okay.
and I would like to see the whole thing done, not
Right.
just one room.
okay, is that?
Right. I want to do this once, so it's preserved for next generation, instead of it being neglected like it was for so many years. So,
So the estimate we got to refurbish it, one did include things such as, controlled HVAC,
Right.
including humidity. It also included a elevator.
Oh.
Because again, making the second floor useful.
Right.
Then it ends up being about $2.5 million. So obviously, we're not going to fund that all by ourselves. And as Jesse said, we're not going to get funding until we get the sewer addressed. But because we know the conditions over there, well, I'd like to get people focused on, let's get the historical part taken care of at some point, so that we don't go there and say, geez, all these pictures are, moldy or whatever.
and then that's going to be an important part as well when we go in and clean the building, getting all that stuff out of the way to get that done properly. And then, of course, when we go into repairing. So we are going to have to look to a solution for storage of those items. Any questions for us?
Not that I can think of. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed a meeting last night.
You're okay. It's okay.
You had mentioned that before at the meeting.
Yeah.
My only request for the building committee is they have to remember the building when we're over there, we have to be able to function.
Mhm.
Because when Matt was coming up, he was coming up with a smaller office than what the office is over there. And I'm like, that's not gonna work.
The committee's
Yeah,
meeting is to come back with options.
yeah,
And, and certainly we want to listen to them, but, one of the, how big a meeting room do we have? Well, there's certain things that we have to have. So, I think there's going to be some back and forth, but, we'll give you more of that room cluster.
And in an ideal scenario,
I want the whole floor.
well,
Yeah, we're gonna have to come to the middle.
an ideal scenario is when we get the equipment garages done,
Mhm.
there's gonna be, I'll call it the motor pool office, but it'll be the roadmaster office will be in there, right? There should hopefully be running water and a bathroom in there. So we're gonna not be as congested in one little area, hopefully.
Yeah,
And we'll have more space in the building as well when we move the vehicles out of the building.
Mhm.
And hopefully maybe even we have a garage bay that we can have meetings in over there, in there for now, the time being, to save this rent money eventually. Right? So, because it's gonna take some time for the building, but it's not a goner, so.
The bottom line is that everything we've heard, we can make rooms what we want them to be. We don't have to even live with what the walls are. They may be okay for right now, but
Mhm.
it's like buying a new house. What my wife wants, what I want, might be two different things, but I usually say yes, dear, so
Oh, boy. All right, well, I really appreciate your time and thank you.
thank you very much.
You're more than welcome to stay for the rest
Yeah, I
of the
will.
meeting. or-
Yeah, I'll stay.
All right. All right, so any more public comment, Lisa?
No?
Nope.
That's it.
All right, great. Thank you again. All right, so I talked about the announcements and the septic pumping. Act 537, revised milestones sent PADEP. Plans submitted to the Wilmsdorf Sewer Authority.
Yeah.
Discussed with Wilmsdorf Rubizonia Joint Authority and Attorney McFarland for intermunicipal agreements. No update of water. Discuss setting up
Setting up.
meeting with Representative Eric Wheatneck for grant opportunities. Did anybody talk to Wheatneck at all?
I did, not him personally, but
His office?
I just need to know, is this something that's gonna be one supervisor? Who all wants to be involved, day of the week, what are you guys looking for? Um,
Well, I'm sure his availability is pretty thin too as well, right?
yeah, I'm sure, so,
Just coordinate with us, we'll make it work somehow.
okay,
I even take days off for that.
yeah,
And because no decisions are gonna be made. and
Right.
You can have as many supervisors as you would like. It's just sharing the history of Marion Township.
Right.
so
Yeah.
that would not need to be a public meeting then?
Not as far as I'm aware. You could ask Colin, of course.
Yeah, I can double check
We
with
just
Colin.
can't make decisions. Otherwise it's a breach of the law.
Right.
But he should know some of the history. He should know some of the stories, personal stories, and
Okay,
maybe that'll help.
right. Any day better of the week, the morning, the afternoon, or just,
Just get me an availability and
Okay.
we'll make it work somehow.
okay.
All right, Terra Tracker,
And
newsletter needs to be out by the end of February.
I'm not sure where Peter is with that.
All right, to be in compliance with the PADEP. Pumping report was submitted January 2026. 153 since February, from the 2024 startup.
So we can see that it's really important that the homeowners are reminded that if they don't pump, there will be repercussions. We only had one pumping report in January, which even though it was very cold, there was still pumping happening.
Is that right here on Main Street? I think I saw. 'Em.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I know that there was pumping that happened and then therefore we have an issue. So if the homeowners aren't being reminded that they must comply, whatever they did doesn't count. Their septic hauler didn't submit it electronically. And until they realize you're gonna be serious with the fine, the
Right.
newsletter is critical. Communications are absolutely critical.
Is there a copy of the newsletter in here?
No, it was sent to Peter and he was working on it.
So it was sent to Peter because there were a draft already in place.
Yeah, he did come up with a draft, but he had to finish, editing it. I'll look in the emails tomorrow.
Send it to one of
for it.
us because he's out of commission for a little while.
Yeah,
And one of us will finish that newsletter and get it out. Or if you want to try doing the newsletter and then we give it a glance over, I'm okay with any of it. But we need to get it out.
I think if I can remember off the top of my head, and Kelly can probably remember, I think it's just to add
I
their,
think it was a couple dates, which I.
Yeah,
meant.
yeah, those dates, and then just to update, I think the meeting dates on there for 2026,
Okay,
but I'll look at it.
all right, yeah. 'Cause
I
we'll-
don't think there was much that had to be.
No, it wasn't much. It was just something with dates,
So
her,
let's- yeah,
dates
get-
for the
you-
MTCA and.
All right, if you want to,
Okay.
we'll work on that this
Okay.
week.
Yeah, we
If we
gotta
can.
get that.
That's gotta go.
And I mean, honestly, it's not gonna be as good as Peter does a great job, but we gotta get it done.
I would probably say 98% of it's done.
At
Okay.
least,
Yeah,
Okay.
at least 98% of it's
We can
done.
take care of 2%.
Yeah.
I'm not as fancy as Peter with this stuff, but
that information sharing, just in general, the communication part of the
Yeah.
SFP is,
I mean,
the software works, everything works, but if people feel like they can get away with it,
Then
they
they'll do it.
won't.
if I ignore it, nobody yells at me.
Yeah.
I have kids like that. I have a dog like that too.
I
Oh, I've had dogs like that too.
got 5 dogs like that right now. 3 of them are mine. All right, grants, LSA statewide, EMC and police, EMC purchases have been made and paid. Everything is submitted to the state. The township has been reimbursed. Police,
Yeah, the police, when the purchases have been made, they have all the equipment, but we have not invoiced everybody. I just got 2 more invoices the past week.
okay,
So once we get everything back, everything paid, I'm gonna need, because I can't go to the bank and get this. Somebody's gonna need to get copies of all the canceled checks. And then, once we have that, we can submit to get reimbursed for that.
okay, so that's the thing that we need to do sooner than later as well.
Yeah.
So who needs to do that?
What do you guys? I'm not on the account, so
Okay, well, tell me what to do and I'll
Yeah.
do.
I can get you tomorrow, or Monday. I need to get the minutes done, tomorrow. Cause I gotta get that over to the bank
Okay,
for Dan.
okay,
And then there's gonna be another sheet for you guys to sign,
okay,
but I have to get that over to, Pam at the bank.
So I can do something tomorrow?
Yeah, I can get you the check numbers that I need copies of the canceled checks
we don't
so
have,
far.
we don't have checks with carbon copies.
It has to
And they're
show
cashed.
that they got it and
And they're
it's been cashed.
Okay,
And that's gonna be important then for the second sewer grant. I'm filling out the reimbursement forms and then the canceled checks also will have to go the same way to get reimbursed.
okay, all right,
So I'll have to look that up and,
Yeah,
Get
so I'm
those
putting all
checked
the
out,
forms and
yeah.
the invoices together for you and then now there's a process and we'll get that
Yeah.
process. My goal is by the end of March, so most, not all of the 69,570, but
Okay.
most will be hopefully coming back to the township.
awesome, thank you. Yeah, that's the next thing, sanitary sewer grant awarded $69,570. Kimberly will fill out reimbursement request by
Yeah.
end of the March. Thank you.
so, yeah, I'm gonna have to, Denny, I'll find those check numbers too,
Great.
and then we'll have to get copies of those checks.
And
Then bring them to you.
Yeah,
before we move forward, Bob Preston is here. He can give a brief update on the design progress. I know that was one of the questions. We did not hear back yet from the engineer for the water side.
Okay,
But that discussion is still pending scheduling.
One of those government things.
Yeah. This one I think is, I don't know, but Joe's still working very hard to pin down a meeting just for the water
Okay.
side. Bob, I'll let you take it away.
All right, we started looking at the meter pit, which is the very end of your force main that'll go into Womelsdorf. Reviewing their review letter, they want the meter and everything on their side of the Tocohawken, so it's as close to them as possible. Basically, they're worrying about infiltration from the creek.
okay,
But anyway, on that side, we have a problem with the floodway. We do not want to even attempt to go on the floodway, plus the design and everything else. So I've been looking at that. I did talk with Spots to make sure they're acceptable with what we're proposing, and they liked what we were doing. So we're trying to put it right there, just outside, probably 5 feet outside the floodway. And then doing the best to keep out, because if we go in that floodway, that will spring other things in action that none of us want. Because it'd be permits and everything else, because the electric going back there will mean accidents. That's another thing we want to start looking at is not the system isn't set, but we're pretty well set where the pipes are gonna go.
Mhm.
We have roads in Stroudsburg that we don't know whether you guys own the road. We don't know if it's a private road. Our surveyor went to the courthouse to try to determine this and hasn't been able to determine it.
Mhm.
So
Makes
there are
sense.
roads like that within the town that we should probably start looking at to find out whether we need to gain an easement.
If you get a list of those roads, I can help you with that one.
Yeah, we should
Okay,
have that.
I got a list of what the surveyor gave us. And then that'll know how many we can start narrowing down these easements, and as I get the direction into their manhole, I believe that'll be 2 easements there. I believe there's a farmer that owns basically from the creek 40 feet out. And then I think it's one will do.
I think he's talking where you used to live.
Zartman, yeah, it's wise now.
Why?
The
Wise, yes, correct. So there'll be 2 easements down there. But
They're very easy to get along with. The wise is much easier than Zartman was at times.
that's good because I put the bulk of the station.
We like easy.
on their side.
Yeah, they're
And then just going across with a PVC line manhole into their system.
yeah, they're pretty easy to go.
But we need access, we'll need access and electric and everything else down there eventually.
Okay, thank you.
So,
No, I got more than I expected.
Good, good. All right, John, EMC report.
Yes.
You got 4 minutes, John.
I was only gonna give him like 2.
Well,
No matter
there's a
what we
lot
get.
going on. First, we've actually had several responses here since last month. The fun during the snow was pretty interesting. Everything went very well with that, other than, I mean, the personal injuries and the trooper that got hit. But everything for us was pretty good. When I called Carl, and I'm not gonna say I was in panic mode yet, but the fact that we couldn't get ambulances or anything, but that was the state part of the road. They couldn't even get through. But to thank Carl and his crew again on how quick they did open stuff up. And who was that in the backhoe?
That was
Dave?
in the tractor. That was Dave Stabby.
Oh,
Yeah.
he looked like a kid playing with the dog.
Yeah.
He was pretty close to there already. So
It was awesome seeing them. But there's a project I've been working on. I put out on Facebook about a year and 4 months ago, statewide, to everybody that I know, asking for help with radios. Now, the radios, I got a donation, they were given to me, and they do not work on the Berks County frequencies, which I'm happy about, because I don't want anything to do with the Berks County radios. Because now there's another rumor is they're going to change the system again, which means new radios. And
that just happened.
yeah, it did. And now they're doing it again. Because now supposedly the models they made us get are now not going to be able to be repaired or supported by Motorola. And they won't let us look at even Kenwood. This is a whole other project. There's a group of us actually, we're going to the county commissioners over it.
Remember when the last time it went around?
It's like, yeah, we have $8,000 laying around for a single radio. But it's frustrating on that. But aside from that, I got a pretty good donation out of Luzerne County, Columbia County, just stuff I've been accumulating. So I've had the group of EMCs, our task force, which some of the Racy's guys, which are the radio gurus, like these are the ones that live for ham radio, and they're awesome. But try to shorten this down, that I have a bunch of radios. All it's going to cost is to get some reprogramming. I have a couple of them here to show you at the end, because I'm not tying that up now. But it's like $40 to $45 to reprogram them. I wanted to try to have 5 or 6 for us immediately. I'm going to ask Mill Creek to do the same to pay for them, just the reprogramming. But we already started working on it, because again, so many people do not understand the ESFs, the emergency support functions. And number 1 is transportation. Under transportation is road crew. So I've already given some of the radios, the mobile units. Wernersville has already put them into their trucks, the backhoe and what. I want to put a couple in here, and it's just what it's going to cost us to get them installed. We're using Triangle out of, I think they're Lancaster. But Triangle Communications has been very fair about helping, shall we say, support equipment that they have had nothing to do with up to this point.
I think that's outstanding.
But that, yeah, and that's, well, the biggest thing is I got all the radios for free.
Mhm.
But the Relief Association at Hanover Township Fire Department put them in my name, which I really didn't want, but I don't care. As far as they're concerned, they were disposed of as far as the Relief Association was concerned. Now, we can't use them for fire and whatnot here, but I want them for us for our own disaster response. So when we have an incident, each of the supervisors, the secretary, the roadmaster, each of the trucks have a radio, each of you will have a portable, so you can listen in, communicate, because we need that level of communication during a big incident. So I've already been buying on my own, just batteries off of Amazon, and everything's been working great. But, just you can't see them, and I don't care brand, these are all working. But Kenwood and Motorola, just pass it down. So we're gonna have basically a bank set up in the trailer that ideally to have about, I'm shooting for about 12 to 15 of them, because then we have no issues powering that, charging batteries and stuff like that. Then when we have an incident, we actually could have used these Tuesday night, because our response was down to Wernersville for a gas leak. Gas leaks, yes, they're a big deal, but they're not usually that big a deal, other than this time it infiltrated the firehouse and they had 90% showing on the monitors. The building would have exploded. So we went down, well, I went down with the trailer and we set up for about 4 hours, pre-planning and doing everything. They will work between each other. They're already on the current frequency, but with the radios, Lower Heidelberg, their road department still owns their own tower and the FCC license. They have a repeater. And then Wernersville also has their own frequency. They're not on a repeater, but they own their own license. So the deal was, I give them radios, they're letting us use their license for free. So it's already all the barter system, shall we say.
Yeah.
But we're all going to be a community. We'll ultimately have about 5 or 6 different frequencies that Berks County will have no control over, which we're very happy about, because there's always issues there. But we're going to be able to do whatever we want on these frequencies, no foul language, because FCC doesn't like that. But this has been a project I've been working on. And I'm hoping by next month I'll actually know, because I thought I'd be able to come in like, hey, I'd like to be able to spend up to $400 to get a certain amount of radios reprogrammed. But I'm actually trying to go through some of the ham radio operators, because I heard a rumor one of them might have all the reprogramming equipment, and I just have to toss him a radio and he'll reprogram everything. Because I got about 35 of those radios and still about a dozen mobile units. So the trucks will get the mobile units, and they'll still have a couple portables. Yes, I know everybody's like, well, we have cell phones now. When the towers are down, we have no communication, as we've found already several times. This is independent. It's on our own. We own it. So as far as the radios, it's a project that's being worked on, which so far it seems pretty successful. The responses we've had between that one the other night, a couple calls in town, everything's it's been getting handled. When you guys were talking about the building before, I remember 3 or 4 years ago where we had hoped, we knew that the ADA was going to be the issue about having one of the rooms upstairs as the EOC. But is the plan, the current truck room, going to become meeting room potentially? So the old meeting room would potentially be what? This is way before the
Right.
horse.
Exactly. So we would have to look at a whole layout of the building before we would, because we'll
I'd
actually have,
love to have one of the second floor
Right.
rooms so I can see out with windows and what weather-wise and what, but so that we can actually have a functioning EOC. Because if we have a building with a dedicated room as an emergency operations center, there is tons of grants for that, for all the IT equipment, computers.
well, I will tell you, when I had them look at the drawings of the new portion of the new building that was looked at, when I originally gave that paperwork to, what are they called now? The Kepperling Services.
Yeah.
I said I wanted all those rooms incorporated into that building space, including your EMC room.
Because I was like, even where our engineer fell through the floor, I said, I'll just patch that hole up and I'll take that into.
So, but potentially this could be a complete regut and restructure of the building. So I don't know how deep it's gonna go. It's gonna be in the same layout, maybe, right? Because we may not have that amount of money. Could there even be a spot for you in the back? Could we make another bay that's all yours, maybe with an office for you out there? There's a couple different ways.
And then, again, on that, one of the things to look for though, is when for an EOC, like the multi-purpose room, still having that big meeting room would be the ideal location, because the 3 supervisors, you guys are supposed to be in that next room over, so that you're not getting interfered with media, and what you guys can make your decisions. You have your own room, and that you're operating during a disaster of some kind. Nobody's bothering you guys. You are in the, I don't know if you want to call it the safe room, safe words, but that's where it's off of that main, where we have the people. Because I've had people come up to me from Stonecroft and what they want to get involved, but it's like one of these things, like, I don't have a place for him to operate yet. You know, with some of the people like not just on the accountants, but administrators and stuff. And these people are going to be perfect for the admin side to run an EOC. So again, just a project that's going. But what I got very excited with, a buddy of mine sent me a message 2 or 3 days ago. He was with, and he wouldn't tell me who, other than I could get out of it, was one of the women on the Veterans Administration and Emergency Preparedness Committee through the Senate. Supposedly, the next round of the state fire commissioners' grants will be made available to functioning EOC or EMAs at the township borough level. That as long as we're functioning, we're trained, we're certified, we're going to be allowed to apply. And right now, it's up to 15,000 per location. And again, that's where one of these things is, if we're able to like merge and kind of absorb other places. Because, and this is, I know saying at a public meeting, the current EMC in Tulpahawken asked me if I'd be interested in taking Tulpahawken. I said, if we merge, that I'll take care of the stuff, because he's a career firefighter. He just can't do it. He's going to be promoted to a chief down in Lebanon. And he goes, I just can't do it. He goes, I don't have the interest that you have. So I'm like, I said, I'll make me your deputy. He goes, I don't want anything to do with it. I'm done. So we'll see if that happens. But again, the state's looking for the mergers. If we do the mergers, you're allowed to get more funding, which again, nobody around us has the capability. Potentially, even in this building or the old building, we could have probably the nicest setup around. And the more there's, unfortunately, the more you get involved with, the more funding we can look at. And that's one of the big things was the EOC grants, monitors, computers, radios, telephones, communications of all kinds. All this stuff is in these grants, but it's like, I can't even apply to it because I have no place to put it right now. And that's the thing, you have to have a site, and this we just can't use here. And I think that's it.
So I'm not,
Sorry.
don't be sorry. I'm not discrediting you, John, at all whatsoever. I just want you to also, I know that this is what you want and your heart's in this 100%. But that SOAR project is what's
absolutely. Yeah, no.
That's destroying all this,
Yeah.
because I can't go
I know.
full force at a building without getting backlash from the DEP.
No, as
So
of
I'm not
right now,
trying to
mine
take
is
that-
the trailer. So,
I'm not trying to take that from you.
No,
I'm not trying to say that
oh no, I
there will
perfectly
not be a
understand.
spot.
And that's what it sucks. Because again, it's another one of these unfunded mandates from the state, these things we have to have. And that's where we brought up, because I've been in the AIST, the PEMA meeting the last 2 days. It's like, okay, you keep pushing more on us on the local level, but you're not giving us any support. They expect us, poof, it happens magically.
Right. So with that being said, if there's anything that you would want to maybe incorporate into the back garage, like a spot for you to break down equipment and put up a mock office or whatever you want, if you wanted something in the back
Like I say,
garage
I like
area,
having some place right now that I can put the trailer,
right?
keep it out of the weather.
So
Not based over if you want it.
What's that?
Not based over.
Well, it's gonna go, it's like, I'll be working on it the next 2 days. And because you brought that up, I just remembered one thing I did have to bring up. The few hazmat items I still have in the trailer, I want to put over at the firehouse, because number one, they're gonna be the first ones responding with it. But finding out what we had the other night was how many people we had in that trailer between chiefs, road department, under Matt Zer, he's the road master. He had, he was working on his stuff, Red Cross representative, we had all in there. The hazmat stuff I want to pull out, and I want to turn that into a 2-person workstation, which I already have everything at the house to do it. I just want to be able to I already talked to the chief that if you guys allow it, would you guys take the hazmat equipment? I said, sure, absolutely, because they're housing off the rest of it now. So if I can move that down there, and then I can create another workstation for 2 people, and then I can actually have 6 people working in the trailer somewhat comfortably.
is there any update on the CPR classes you were talking about doing for the
Yeah, I
community?
meet with Zimmerman. Tuesday night, we have our CPR and HIPAA training Tuesday night, and we're gonna work out the schedule for probably the next 4 or 5 months.
And is there anything new about the ambulance scenario, the EMS stuff? About responding?
Just basically whatever you guys are gonna decide on what you guys want to do as far as $45, $50 tax bill per person. I want to get the copy of the proposal from Anthony Tucci. He's the chief at Western.
Okay.
He unfortunately is off right now because he destroyed his knee, and twice I've talked to him, and whatever he's on, I want also. He sounds very happy, even though he's in a lot of pain, but, I still gotta wait a couple of weeks to get some more info for him, but, the chief in, Wilmsdorf, Bob, he's trying to get a copy from council there on what they signed for their contract. Basically just to duplicate what they have. We're not reinventing the wheel with all of it. It's just whatever you guys want to decide on it.
Right.
But the last thing was Anthony's out of service and I don't want to harass him just yet. Cause I don't think you guys are gonna be able to do anything till this fall anyway, but at least you can start talking maybe by summer. So
Yeah.
that's the latest on the ambulance. I think, cause I'm actually trying to get an ambulance for the fire company to use as a fire police unit for free. So, like, how did you know about that?
So one thing that intrigues me is this, you talk about merging. In my mind, right now, it's, if you blow your knee out, we're not in good shape. So,
Doesn't affect me because I was doing this while I had knee surgery.
okay,
I was still doing everything I was doing because it's a matter, it doesn't change for me. And that's why I like this. That's why I gave up interior firefighting because of having bad knees.
Yeah.
2 reasons. I know I can't go in and do it, but I also know my guys would kill themselves to get me out. And I don't want that on my conscience. So I'm more than happy to stay outside for it. And that's as long as I can get there. We had one call and I had my youngest at the time drove me in a very small vehicle that when I got out, people kind of chuckled.
the clown car.
Yeah, because it went up 6 inches when I got out of it. But
So anyway, what I'm looking for is I'd like to see I know you have something in your mind, but what would be the plan? Who would you think would be merged? And, if I'm just throwing numbers out, if you had 8 districts merging and you say, okay, for that, we need, 1 leader and 4.
and that's where each township would still have its own individual deputy. I still want to get a deputy for this township, which we have, but he's covering several others also.
Right.
It's just the people, it's not so much on the interest level. There's people that are interested in it. But I've had a couple people that I've talked to. When I sent them the list of the training and the paperwork they have to do. And they're like, yeah, I'm not really interested. And it's like, well, do I get paid for? No, this is all volunteer. Oh, forget it. But
Okay.
this is my next career. So yes, as far as right now, like I want to try to merge Marion and Mill Creek. And then if Tulpehocken is the ability to do that.
Yeah.
But the state's also pushing that really heavy to try to create mergers. Because then they can ultimately spend less, but we can get more funding that way.
Right.
So.
No, I
John, it might be good for you sometime to take Dennis on a ride to see a control center like we did years ago.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Where did we go? What was that?
That was Porter Township.
Yeah.
That is the Taj Mahal of local EMA. Oh my God.
just wait till it gets warm.
Then you see how many radios are actually in there, how it's set up in the layout.
Yeah, that was neat. Maybe it'd be one of those nights if a couple people wanted to go, because they trust me, they're more than happy to show off that building. That's their gem up there.
Yeah, then you can see what's all involved with.
Yeah.
Set up in that.
Excellent.
All right, Marion Township Fire Company. Is there any news on that? They're not here, so.
No, he will be here next week, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually.
They've been busy though.
Yeah, they have. Engineer, Saldo. The Saldo is completed and edited. The draft has been given to the board for review.
Well, it's now in the hands of,
Fine.
Kraft. Kraft is looking at it to
To see if it's,
see if there's any issue.
Yeah. which I think they should.
Yes, I think.
I
I
would
don't know if
definitely.
this is anything that was reviewed first.
And Lisa, what is this craft discussion at board meeting?
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
It's just their craft report and, that's usually Glenn. And
Okay,
he's usually here quarterly but he, has no updates for this month yet. But he usually just discusses that at the board meeting, so.
all right, Carl, Roadmaster, you're up.
All right, well, snow, every weekend, snow.
The grader.
Snow. The grader is fixed. When Tony takes it, Abby put a new heater in it. Seems to be working very good. The wipers are fixed, the work light's fixed, ready to go. The diesel pump was just a filter. We replaced the filter today and it's spitting right out. Not a big deal. We had to replace the belts on the 550 for the hydraulic pump. Fixed another brake line on the 550. we're gonna keep that any longer, we should probably replace all the brake
Mhm.
lines in
Yeah.
spring when we're not using it so heavy,
Mhm.
because it's just gonna keep going. Got salt, we still have plenty of salt. If we have an event this weekend, we have plenty of salt, we're good there. Working on pricing for the boom motors, they're all over the place. Anywhere from 20 to 45 grand. I saw some for 50. Now there's two on municipal right now that are very similar. I want to watch them and see how it plays out, give us a better idea.
Yeah.
Uh,
If we
probably,
put it up,
probably gonna lose money on it
if
either
we
way.
put it up in spring, I say this is the last time we put it up and we wash our hands.
But it's a better time to put it up. People are
Yep.
gonna be looking for something,
Right.
you know? Yeah. Went to look at that Peterbilt. Like I told you, it's in great shape. They really take care of their stuff up there, and they replace it every 10 years or 5 to 7, 10 years,
Mhm.
depending on what they paid for it.
Mhm.
These are a little more expensive. They keep them a little longer. They're 550s. It's like 7 years, 5 to 7 years.
Does it come with a plow?
Yeah, plow and a salt spreader. It comes with, there's another chute for doing shoulders. They already have it. You don't even have to buy it. You put it on there and now you can run along the shoulder and run a millings or stone or modified, whatever you want, right out the side.
Cool.
So, I mean, it's like a 4-season, we'll get 4 seasons of use out of it instead of just sitting there
Oh, yeah.
for plowing snow and nothing else.
Yep, I agree with you.
Did some stop signs. One was, I think, stolen, one was hit and run. That one was, you said the county called that one in.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of them blew into the field. That was what, yesterday?
It's like 20 feet away from the post.
Yeah. We still haven't gotten a chance to meet with Ryan on site to look at some stuff and go over the road work for next year, which is gonna be tweaked. I know I had 3 years up, working on the 4th and 5th. Well, this year's gonna be tweaked a little bit because of some of his valuable knowledge just from that one meeting we talked about. So we're gonna change it up a little bit. Well, if you guys are okay with that. In April, PSATS is having its annual shindig up in Hershey. If you go through PSATS, it's like $230. But it also has more classes and information, but it's more based towards the administrative end of it. They do have some road work classes in there too, but if we go through LTAP, PennDOT, we get all the road crew classes we need for $88, and it's a 3-day thing. That $88 pays for all 3 days. I would like to go to it again. I got a lot out of it last year. I'd like to open it up to other part-timers that may want to go. If that's okay with you guys, that's
100%.
okay.
We need a crew knows what they're doing. So
I can get that on the agenda for next Thursday.
if you want to put that on the agenda, Lisa, we'll.
No, it's at 88 per person.
Yes. Yeah,
Right.
but not per day. $88 gives you a pass for all 3 days. And it's Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. Sunday is just their big exhibition.
Yep.
I might go up Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4. I think it is. They have a maintenance roadmasters roundtable. I didn't do that last year, and I think I'll do that on Sunday.
Yeah, you get a lot from that stuff.
And I had a question, still going over stuff from Mr. Spade, or the lack of stuff from Mr. Spade. We won't get into that, but there were a couple things on the list. He was talking about a weight study and core samples. I have no idea what he's talking about. Do you guys know about that?
He was talking about doing that when he was doing the saldo, I thought.
Is that what it was, the saldo?
He was talking about our roads. Some of them, most of them are not built to a standard for the heavy equipment that are on them,
yes.
the big trucks.
He's right on that.
So he was talking about trying to see what's underneath the roads and redoing it.
Mhm.
So that's could be what he was referring.
I mean, that actually makes sense to me. I think that's a good idea.
But as Kelly has stated, in the roads I've seen, there's
But-
not much.
But we can, maybe save a little bit on that because we do have a history in the files over there of the road work that's been done over the past years.
Right.
Gotta look through it all and decipher it and but I've been looking at that a little bit as I go through this 5-year plan to see which roads were done, what was done to them, and it's very time consuming, but
Right.
I mean, core samples would definitely give you everything you need to know.
Right.
So I don't know what the cost is of that though.
Right. I would say get with the new engineer and we'll deal with the new engineering
Do the
firm with that.
recommendations.
And he can do the recommendations on it, just because, like you said, the lack of information that we had.
I'll tell you what, it's so much better already.
Good,
And we're finding out so many things.
good.
She's finding out so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going down
You
a
guys made it, you guys.
lot of rabbit holes this week, past couple of weeks.
Right, well. Anything else, Carl?
No, just school road. We just noticed that when we replaced the stop sign that was in the field.
Yeah.
So we'll look into that too.
Yeah, thank you. Lisa, anything for
Do
you?
you think that's weather
Secretary?
related or just?
No.
You're up, Lisa.
No office supplies. I was able to remove the cap for his credit that that it wasn't 500. So he's totally opened up.
Two.
So it's gonna be enough if he needs. to-
Yeah. The township has 10,000 limit.
On each card? or
No,
all
total,
together?
total
Okay.
is 10,000. So his card is open up, so
So if we bid on the truck, he should
Yeah.
be safe to put the deposit down for the
yes,
truck.
he would be, yeah.
Good, good deal. Thank you,
So,
Lisa.
the other thing was the newsletter, which we discussed. I will see if I can find that. I don't have it on the agenda, but it was quiet for like a week, I swear, for at least a week, and now we're getting more phone calls again.
Like 4 of them today.
On trash that nobody knew that they had JP Mascaro. And then the farmers calling, it's just.
Lisa, I won't even entertain it. We've had them
No.
that long. It's time to find people.
Yeah.
No
So-
more amnesty. I'm done with it.
Can we just have her refer them to Mascaro's number?
They don't,
Mascaro's refers them to us.
yeah, because they don't really,
Whatever.
they're
our
not really
ordinance is,
billing.
Colin has an ordinance written in there.
What's that?
I said, you can't get through if you call them.
Yeah.
Colin has an ordinance written for
Yeah,
not abiding by the trash rules. We
Oh,
got
I told him.
We got to enforce
Yeah.
it through craft. That's the way we do it. There's no way people don't know who we have now for the last,
but they don't even know about this. They're like, well, when did this start? And I'm like, well, the ordinance has been in
I've
effect
played these
since,
games with Berks County people for years.
so.
It's fun when someone says Berks County people.
Berks County.
Yeah.
But I had to laugh at one yesterday. They were calling complaining about the trash, which now they're gonna have to pay the trash. But during the conversation, they're like, well, we don't even live there. We rent this out. I looked at the renters list. Well, they're not on the renters list. Well, so they just gave themselves up for, it was like,
What, the ordinance is written on what to do with people that do not follow the rules with the trash enforcement. That's it. All right,
So,
police and EMS, Tulpe PD discussion at the board meeting. They're
yeah,
not
that's
here.
it. Yeah, it's all at the board.
Yep, Western EMS, we talked about that with John. Newmanstown EMS, we talked about that with John. Current items.
And
I'm
we
going
will
to say, I'm gonna
change
change
that.
this verbiage to maintenance of the current building. Renew Source will be out Tuesday, March 3rd, which is Septic Solutions, new name, to work on the septic piping. Asbestos and fitting insulation abatement is $4,900.
Yeah, EHC is the name of that. That's where that
EH
EHC in there comes from.
EHC,
Yeah.
okay, so I won't make a motion on that tonight, but expect that this coming Thursday, I'm gonna make a motion.
Yep.
To get that asbestos gone.
Are we getting quotes on the mold?
So what she's told me down there, once you remove the asbestos, we got to get rid of all that salt down there and that, there's a wooden cabinet down there. When they,
Let's do that We can work on that now if you want.
If it's up to you, I can come and help.
Get it out, we can get it out of there before
Okay.
they come in.
But that cabinet has significant mold on it, and I don't know what's behind that cabinet. That's the one thing that they brought to my attention when we were over there with the mold people. So, do you have masks, Carl? I have some at home if you would need them. Good ones.
Some in there.
We
Like
have,
using masks?
no, we have the one, I can grab another one at Glenn's.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
I got a bunch of different masks. You guys want some?
Okay.
In the 95 C100, like the paper ones. I think I might have a couple half masks.
So what I'm thinking is Dennis, once we get the asbestos out, then I can have people in to look at the mold and evaluate the building. When I went down there with the guy from the asbestos, he recommended a professional cleaning of the entire building before the mold.
For the mold.
Because there's barely any in there. So he wants to see what's actually left and what's not.
Okay.
And then he was saying that some of the mold, like if you see in the back room where that hole is, that floor should just be cut out. And if it's not wet right now, you're gonna have less spores. He said that, cut it out.
Awesome.
Yep.
Get everywhere.
Just get it out.
Yeah.
And then what's ever left on the walls, then that will get sprayed and abated.
Okay, that sounds like
I
good.
know there was mold on the door frame going into the office there.
There's mold in every house when you don't clean. That's true.
There's,
So,
it,
and when there's lack of ventilation,
well, yeah,
it's gonna happen. I have a dirt floor in my basement. Is what it is. You clean it. All right, trade-ins, boom mower, grader on Municipal and Spring. I'm gonna say we do not sell the grader.
You're not gonna make any money on it anyway.
Nope, so I say we keep it.
Kelly's happy.
Kelly's a winner.
There will come a point where you can't fix it anymore, because the parts are obsolete.
So I don't know. But if we wouldn't have had it unless we have something to replace it with. That thing was the only thing that really moved the snow. You should have seen it.
On Army grade.
I moved it. Yeah, I know Kelly.
It would be cool.
So,
He's motor pulled. Army graders.
all right. So playground maintenance and equipment, looking into replacing and repairing swings. And or a swing set, one quote received, discuss possible grants. That we're still working on.
I know
You've
you
been
sent
That with,
an email.
I sent an email out.
Yeah,
I sent it to Don and he is not feeling well. He couldn't be here tonight, but he wanted to talk to you tonight.
And that's okay. If, I could always talk to them on the phone or
Yeah.
next month's meeting, I'd be happy to.
Yeah, I'll talk to you after.
Okay, that sounds good.
and if I remember off the top of my head, basically is they need to decide exactly what they want to do, so you know exactly what type of grant to get, is that right?
Well, yeah, if it's just the swing set equipment, the one grant, it's not really expensive enough to
Right.
be appealing to the grant. That's the problem. So if I spoke to a DCNR rep and they said, put it in. If you just truly only need a swing set, maybe you'll get lucky.
Yeah.
But
I don't feel.
yeah, but it didn't sound as promising as something a little bit more. So if there's
What
a
if-
swing,
we would include like dugouts or something,
probably. So
or
if
the
you,
ball field.
yeah, there was a number, and forgive me, I didn't refresh myself on the threshold, the typical threshold for a small municipality. But if you can get it close to that typical award amount,
Right.
they'll take it seriously.
And I have another question for you.
Yeah.
But what if, could that grant be used for like, let's say the swing set, but now that the monument is incorporated into the park, can that be used for beautification around the monument?
I have to double check if it's for play, but I think it's also
Okay.
something if people are coming to visit.
Improvements.
Yeah.
Because I know they can be very
probably-
specific, but
Yeah.
What about doing a little more than just a swing set and doing
Yeah, I was thinking of
more
that.
Yeah,
equipment?
yeah, if you could do something a little bit more and just go out there, and there is a match requirement, so I'm gonna refresh my memory. I didn't come prepared to discuss that in particular,
right.
but the big thing is to have people talk about, okay, how can I get maybe $20,000 to $30,000 more of equipment minimum in there, to make it attractive.
It
And
won't take much to do that.
yeah,
Even
Yeah.
a parking lot, if for people.
Well,
to
you know,
park,
and
but
that's the other thing you were talking about, changing the layout of these.
We
things.
need to look at that in a drawing and see where we want to fit things too.
yeah, as long as you're not gonna bulldoze it in
Right.
3 to 5 years, you should be good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have to make sure that whatever we use that for will be permanent stuff,
Right.
not
Yeah.
soccer field.
So interestingly, they want you to commit to more and then they'll take the grant.
Okay.
You have a higher competitiveness.
Okay.
Once again, it sounds like government to me, but. Well, I.
Can't escape it. Yeah.
All right, future planning, Marion Township Community-Based Initiative, 5 to 10-year plan, broken down into 3 categories: beautification, efficiency, capability. Engineer Spade recommended to contact county planning.
Yeah, take that out too.
We don't wanna have him. do that.
Yep, that's coming out.
Short and long-term rentals, Kraft sent out 2026 rental applications, letters. Set up a special meeting beginning of 2026 for residents, discuss with Glenn at the supervisors meeting. They need to get this meeting set up. Is that set up yet?
Well, that was from last month, so, discuss with Glenn, but he did send out in your packets, new dates. Do you guys still want to meet with him to go over the list?
List
Or-
of what? The renters.
The rentals list, because you guys, had some concerns.
We need to start somewhere, and if it's a first draft, I say we get them out. We can't keep going back and forth with editing it. We drove around in June.
Okay, so they already sent some out. But the question is you guys had some concerns and
If they
he,
squawk and they don't have a rental, the worst we can say is, sorry, we sent you a
Yeah.
letter.
okay,
We need to get stuff out
okay.
and
Give it
done.
our best shot.
So do you want to sit down with them and go over the list at all or not?
Nope,
Okay,
send it.
all right. And then the other thing is they would like to set up a time to have a like town hall meeting to go over everything with the rental people and all
Do they
that.
want to do it on a Thursday night
There's,
meeting?
there's dates here.
On a Thursday, right? Oh, they are.
How did we get the rental people here? I mean,
If we don't send out a mailer to people, no one's gonna know what the meeting's for.
Yeah,
and I'm just kind of curious how interested they would be in attending.
yeah.
Probably what, over half the rental people are not from here.
Right, and some of them are big businesses now that the properties are in holdings. Holding groups, real estate groups. So I would say
Now Glenn did say, because typically he's not gonna, be coming to every meeting, but if you like him to come to next Thursday's meeting to go over all this with him, he will gladly be here. So that's up to you guys.
I would just want his feedback. I mean,
just, yeah. That's it, yeah,
you know, I hate to have a meeting and have 2 people show up.
right.
So would you like Glenn here next Thursday, to discuss all this with
I
him,
don't think he
or-
needs to be here.
Okay.
I would like Glenn to give us some direction.
Right,
This isn't the only place he's done that, so
Okay,
here's how we make it work effectively.
yeah. Give us the cliff notes on it, on how he,
okay. All right,
all right. Trash ordinance, letter sent out to business farmers with the change ordinance, proof of trash and recycling needs to be sent to the township.
yep, still
Getting phone calls with questions. Lisa, when we start doing things like this has been on here forever.
Mhm.
We should date these. This is the first time we put it on the agenda.
But,
No, I'm not saying it's the first time we put it on the agenda.
okay,
The first time we put this topic on the agenda was, let's just say June of 2024 or whatever, and it's still on the agenda.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? We could date these.
Yeah.
So we know how long they're on there just by glancing at this list.
So when people call, can we just send them a copy of the ordinance and say, well, here it is, here's when it
Yep.
was enacted?
Mhm.
You know, rather than you trying to argue with them, but
Put it on the website too, maybe. Put a
Yeah.
copy
Yeah.
on the website.
now the website is gonna be, is it next month, right?
Should have been this month.
Oh,
Pretty
I-
sure it was
I gotta look.
February 9th.
Lisa, create a log on who
Mhm.
calls, get their name and address and send them a mailer of the ordinance. And then keep that log so you know if you send them, it's because I don't want them coming back 8 months later and say, oh, I didn't hear about this,
2 weeks later.
or 2 weeks later,
Okay,
Ask them if you can email it, so.
or
Yeah,
that.
that'd be the ideal thing.
You can't add anything more to the website anymore after February 9th.
okay,
The launch date is March 26th.
all right.
Okay, so for right now,
Yeah, so a lot of,
take a log. If they have an email, send it by email. If not, mail them the ordinance.
okay.
And carbon, you can blind carbon copy us, and you can also put a read receipt in there so you know they read it.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I'm tired of this trash thing. Greatly tired of it. Annual audit as of September 4th, 2025. Barbara Atkins has terminated professional relationships with the township. SEK, January to March, $12,250. April, August, $10,550. Are these just people that were soliciting?
No, these are proposals that
Those
we
are
got.
proposals, right?
Yeah, this is
Soliciting
from,
what they would
yeah,
charge.
Denny's spreadsheet. Now, this morning, I did get another one here for you
Okay.
guys to review.
Is it any
So-
more or any less?
Did you look at it? I don't, it was like so long ago this morning that I looked at the,
You also gotta know, read what it includes all too. We can't just, it's just for our knowledge,
Most of them refer to, standards.
a standard guideline of a state.
yeah,
I think you have my copy, so I think, I don't know, maybe not.
we're looking at it.
Right, here's your prices right there. Your ending.
Mm.
Right at the bottom.
$10,880.
For 2026 is 11,000.
Well, they would be doing 2025.
It would be,
Yeah,
because it's last year's.
yeah, so they're like, even though we're in 26, they're a year behind, so they're gonna be
So for
auditing in 2025
for
stuff.
2025, it's $10,880. For 2026, Dennis, it's $11,380. And for 2027, it would be $11,880. Can you add that to this agenda for next Thursday?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. The numbers.
I would like to suggest that at the next meeting, we make.
We need to make a decision on it next meeting. Thank you.
We can, review it.
Yeah, that can't go any longer either.
I
Committee,
mean, honestly, the difference in price to me is not a big deal.
right, it's not, what is it, $400 on there.
And, SEK, 12,250 is to have it done by August. I'm sorry, by March, which is technically when we're supposed to have it. You've explained to me that it's pretty easy to get waivers to delay it.
If that would be the people that could do it by March, I'd be in favor of getting it.
I know Barb did it in June.
We would just, whoever we choose, we should talk to, and that I suspect they're gonna say, it's not a problem to get it done in August.
We can always make a motion with, this is our first choice, this is our second choice, if these guys can't do it to a certain date, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that way we don't need to do this another month. That would give her two options, kind of. Here's our first pick, here's our second pick. All right, number 8, committee for the building. Discussion with Terry Williams and Davis.
David.
David.
Oh, it's odd.
And you already did
Their
that.
fault.
Yeah, my typo. Yeah, Terry didn't show up. He said he was gonna be here, but
All right, well. All right,
Well, if we
next,
could make sure he's here for next meeting.
yeah, I'll reach out to him and see if he can get me here
for Thursday,
for Thursday.
because we need to make that decision as well, so they
Right.
can have full committee. All right, roads, number 9, road maintenance update and document 5-year maintenance plan to get roads fixed and maintained on a preventative cycle, clean culverts, etc. I think Carl's been doing a good job with that, but he's been busy with a lot of other stuff right now. Cleaning culverts is not a winter job.
No, we've been looking at them. Everyone we look at is bad.
Yeah, yeah. All right, 10 Bowlinger Road, fill overflow matter and agreement. No discussion at this time due to possible litigation.
We just move that somewhere,
Do we even need to bring it up?
I'll verify that. Yeah, I'll see if we need that on there or not.
All right, 11 SR 0419-012B, bridge replacement. Deficiency comments have been reviewed and addressed. Resubmission to Berks County Conservative District. That's not our problem, but something we just gotta keep our eyes on
Yeah, there's a new letter here,
because
so.
they messed up their own agreement,
Yep.
They didn't fill out the paperwork right.
Yeah.
right?
And
The
it
state
was-
didn't fill out the state's paperwork right.
Yeah.
Road issues, Ford Road sinkhole. Able Recon was out to
Yeah.
evaluate. They
Actually,
declined to do the
both,
project,
Forge and Wintersville, they were out to do both.
and they declined to do both. SDA was able to convince DEP to allow the work to be done as a maintenance to reduce or eliminate permitting and reduce overall costs. This is now being looked at as a high priority with a DGLV road grant project, along with a few others. Number 2, Wintersville Road. Able Recon is interested in seeing this location to see if it might be a
Yeah.
candidate for pipe lining. Didn't we figure out it wasn't?
Yeah.
They wanted the pipe repaired first
They
and
wanted,
then line it. So I mean, it's,
so we don't even need this on the agenda anymore then, because we just got to replace it now, right?
yeah, when it comes time to be on the agenda again, I'll bring it up. You don't have to leave it on there.
Okay.
What about Forge Road?
Same thing.
Okay.
There is, an old business archive. I can put it down there in that section.
Yeah,
So
it's a good idea.
so it's still there for us to
That's a good
remember,
idea.
but
All right.
That's a good idea. All right, Canal Road will be submitted for a DLVGR grant and business projects. Blue Spruce, 4405 Conrad Weiser Parkway, no new business on this item. 1485 Main Street, Twilight Acres, discussion at branch supervisors meeting. Is there any update on that since there's discussion?
They're going to town, building it.
which were Twilight Acres?
Yes.
I know they're looking at the holding tank agreement. That was another thing I was dealing with today.
What's wrong with the holding tank agreement? Because that was we already did waivers for a lot of that.
There was some stuff that they had to do first.
Probably the stuff.
Ryan had that. Is Ryan reported here?
I thought I saw it, yes.
I don't, his report came this afternoon after we got the packet together, but
There's something about soil testing or something they need it for.
basically it's a holding tank that they're dealing with, and
They're talking about moving it at some point.
basically a lot of this stuff, like the projects, he'll be going over at next meeting. He just got the report into me this afternoon.
Okay.
So he'll go over all these projects
All right,
with you.
Thursday.
Cause the Gerald Weaver number 17, that's gonna need a waiver. The Oberholters, that's gonna need waivers. But I'll get you guys his, report so you can look over what all waivers. I think it's the Oberholters that has like 12 waivers that you guys are gonna need to approve that were recommended by the planning commission.
So we're just gonna waive everything for them.
The Oberholters? This is not for Twilight Acres.
No,
This
they're
is-
all related though.
Yeah.
They have to drive through the backyard of, Mr. Hafer to get to the.
Yeah, they did that until I put a fence up.
Ryan's already working with the solicitor and the SEO. Open hall issue.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
It's
We'll
just,
talk about it.
it just has to get taken care of because basically Scott at SD was handling it. Now Scott's not, and
Mhm.
everything's been handed over to Jeremy, our new SEO. And Jeremy's just gonna have to get on board
Well, I
and
would like to hear his recommendations on topics as well.
he's got some notes in that.
Good.
In that, email he sent out.
All right. And that we were CC'd on those.
yep, and I have copies, so I'll get you guys copies.
Thank you.
if want to
Appreciate
read
that.
them.
All right, 2026 projects, provide who is working on each project and provide an update on the project. I agree with that 100%. So we got to organize ourselves a little better and structure it.
You know,
Which he needs to get into, the SharePoint. But Peter's not here to do that. Peter has the capability of doing
To
that.
give them access to share.
Yeah, and then he can come up with a
I was looking at the, planner software.
planner that,
Pretty slick.
Yeah.
Basically, you make a list and you get dates that you give and you check off when it gets done. And then we can put everybody together and
Right. We can also utilize the Outlook calendar as well. In the shared mailbox, can't we?
Yeah.
Put stuff on.
I wouldn't doubt it if it actually feeds into the.
It should feed into
I think
Teams.
probably
I think
does.
it feeds into Teams, all of it. It all communicates. All right, Dutch Way.
That's Valley.
Dutch Valley LOC reduction request. Currently 14,036.11, requesting to reduce to 25,390.50. Further discussion with engineer Road at the branch supervisors meeting.
Yeah, he just got that out this afternoon, that letter that he's gonna go over with you for recommendation.
Okay,
But I saw, it was like right before we left, and I think what they want it reduced down to, what they told me here is a totally different number that he has, but I have to look at it, but
Say reduced from 14 to 12.
there is another zero in there. White typos this past couple of days. Sorry, I was working on 3 agendas at one time.
new
I'm
business,
sorry.
office equipment. Look into purchasing equipment from meetings. That was already approved for Peter to buy it. So,
Yeah, up to $300, yeah.
yeah, good. So that we can take off the agenda.
Okay, well, in Denny's notes, he wanted it on the agenda so that's why I just put it.
I thought it only needs to be on the agenda if it wasn't taken care of.
Well, it's not there.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
It's somewhere.
It's somewhere at Peter's house, possibly. Pole building.
Well, maybe we'll have the answer next Thursday.
Discuss getting quotes.
If you have a time after the meeting, we can
Yeah.
go over that a little bit.
Okay.
It's pretty simple.
Treasurer, review and approval for the posting. I'm gonna read this again.
Yeah,
Then.
yeah.
All right.
So that's just a draft.
Nope, that's fine.
You
I
guys
appreciate-
can
I
add,
appreciate-
delete, remove.
I
You
appreciate,
added some stuff I like.
Yeah,
I actually appreciate you doing that. Thank
Yeah.
you, Lisa. I appreciate it a lot.
so, and then, if you guys can have that ready for next Thursday.
Yep.
And let me know what you guys want to add, edit or whatever, and I can have that ready for next Thursday then for approval.
Thank you. All right, computer access. Abby and Denny need access to the files. Denny needs planner access. 25. Evolved. What that says? Is that what
It's iSoft, it's the payroll.
iSoft.
So it's kind of more of an FYI for you guys, just to let you
Okay.
know that there's gonna be an increase,
Of course there is.
like everything else.
Pricing increase of 5.19% effective March 1st, 2026. All right, old business archive, nothing at this time. Any
Well,
comment?
I'm gonna start moving that stuff down.
Anybody, right?
Oh, Peter's not here. Jesse, do you have comments?
I don't have any comments.
Any?
No, none other than I've made, so.
I don't have anything. Carol doesn't have anything. Do you have anything, Abby?
All right, I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 8:20 PM.
Motion made by Jesse, and I guess.
Second that, or I-
Yeah. Roll call, Jesse, roll
Aye.
call, Denny.
Thank you, guys. Sorry, I'm not as smooth as Peter.
Be safe out there this weekend, especially.